How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how to make Gorgon City Tell Me It's True. This is an absolute fucking banger. Here's what my remix sounds like and what you'll have made by the end of the video. Great, let's firstly start with that epic piano. Great, so it's made up of two layers. The first is a sort of more airy one with loads of delay, and then the other is just sort of the bass that sits below the mix. So we'll start with the first layer. In terms of plugin, we have the SRX keyboard, which is by Roland. You can literally just use any piano though. You could just use the Grand, you know, the one that comes stock with Ableton's instruments, Grand Piano, any of these, or the simpler one. Piano, Grand Piano. Any piano plugin will work. And then first thing you're gonna slap on is a delay. Feedback 46%, and we've got it on third mode. If I take all this stuff off, so without any effects, it sounds like this. So we firstly put that delay on, and then you're getting that sort of tail on this note. And so yeah, that's really nice. And this dry wet also comes up towards the drop. So it's when it builds. Sort of causing like phasing issues, but in a good way. And then we turn this reverb just to soften it up. Then another reverb. So it's vintage reverb with quite a high decay, 3.3 seconds, creating that sort of airiness. Without it, it's not as dreamy. Maybe I put too much on, but I like it. I've also got this knob. It's called Fade to Grey, and that also is coming in towards that drop. So basically just taking out the low end. If you Google Fade to Grey Ableton plugin, it will come up. And then we have this EQ, so just brighten it up, taking out some of the low end with a little scoop, and then boosting the highs between 1.9 and 5.4. And lastly, just this kickstart, which comes in only on the drop. Then for the second sound, we've just got the Ableton Grand Piano, but with way less effects. So just got this Fade to Grey. Little EQ action going on here, little boost at 2K and dropping out some of that bass. And again, that same sidechain. So yeah, in terms of the notes, we're in the key of C sharp major. And yeah, we're basically just building up the chords pretty simply. So obviously got the root note, then we've got the third pitched up an octave, then we've got the fifth, then the seventh. And yeah, we've got D sharp, so the root note, and then that pitched up, and then we've got the fourth. And yeah, obviously if you want to pause these chords, then feel free. But yeah, they're kind of just nice standard chords. And I think the main element is this huge gap, but before that gap is this change in note, so we're just going up. So yeah, without that, you need that almost like as a melody. So yeah, really nice. And then that comes back onto itself. So that's obviously the same as that. But yeah, really nice. So yeah, if you want to pause the video, copy this, then feel free. I'm not trying to gatekeep or anything. Cool. Let's now have a look at the bass. So the bass is fucking banging. So yeah, it's made of two layers. So layer one, it's called Daylight Bass. So yeah, the bass is actually made from presets from my Deep House Volume 1 Serum preset pack. You can get that from the link in the description. This pack has over 70 Deep House presets for making Deep House like Sonny Fodera, Gorgon City, Route 94, and many, many more. So yeah, definitely check that out. Along with that pack is also the matching drum kit. All these drums from the same track are from that same drums pack. So yeah, definitely check that out. That's just Deep House Volume 1 drums. Cool, so let's have a look at the MIDI. It starts on the F, so it's kind of F minor. It starts on F, and then up to F again. And then we got obviously the A flat and then the C, and that literally just repeats itself. Super simple. 2 bars long, that's it. Let's have a look at how the patch was made. So we're in Serum. So we start with the sub and we go for a square wave, pitch it down by 2 octaves. Oscillator A, pitch it down 2 octaves. MB saw, so analog, MB saw. And we just keep it on wave 2 position 1. Oscillator B, basic shapes, so analog, basic shapes. Unison of 4, and of course pitch down by 2. We then come down to this envelope and we're going to turn the filter on as well. But essentially select an MG Load 24, sculpt your envelope so it's got a decay of 1.37 seconds and a nice bit of release. Bring this down first and drag that onto the cutoff. Drag up the blue to about 31. A little bit on the drive as well, so drag that onto the drive, drag that up. We also dragged a little bit on the bend of this just to spice it up a bit, I guess. Add a bit of movement. Added a bit of fat, reses up. Pretty simple, really. And then we've also got this macro. So this macro, drag that onto the cutoff and onto the res. And then, as you can hear, you can drag that up. It's going to change the sound. And this is also on the decay and the release. So basically the whole sound's coming from the cutoff, resonance, decay, and release. And then attaching that macro to it, we can control it all at the same time. Cool, going over to the effects, we've got this chorus, not doing a whole lot. So then we've got this EQ and we're boosting at 200 Hertz, so here, and then at 6,600, which is about here. We then turn on this compression, a bit of reverb, and that's it. The effects are pretty subtle on this, I can't lie. You can probably turn them off and not notice. We then layered that with a second layer. So same MIDI, but a different bass patch. So this is also from that Deep House Volume 1 pack. Great, so yeah, firstly the sub, got a sine wave, which is -2. Then we've got another sine wave in oscillator A. So this sine wave is kind of distorted a bit. That's why it looks a little bit different to this. This is more the clean one. This will obviously be the clean one of the sub. So we've got a distorted sine wave, a normal sine wave, and a triangle, which you might not know, but a triangle is basically a sine wave. A few more harmonics. But yeah, they pretty much sound the same. So yeah, basically 3 sine waves essentially. And then we turn on the filter, we've got an MG Low 18. And we've got AB, noise sub, and piano mode selected. The envelope isn't really doing a whole lot. So obviously just taking that amplitude down a little bit. Cool, so without any effects, your sound's gonna sound like this. So what we're gonna do is turn this compression on. A little bit of gain, and these are the settings obviously for the ratio and attack. A little bit of EQ, boosting about 200 Hertz. Sine shaper, this is where the main sound's going to come from. So if you go to envelope 2, create a shell that looks like this. So half a second of decay, a little bit of sustain, or quite a lot of bit of sustain, and a nice bit of release. You drag that on here. So set that at 31%, drag that on here, set that to no more than 20, and then you're gonna get a sound that sounds like this. Because we selected the sine shaper here, which basically makes it sort of distorted. Without that. We then need to tame that a little bit, so then we've added this filter. So bring that cutoff down, drag that envelope onto that and onto the drive. That's how the sort of donkey sound's made. And then add a bit of reverb. So yeah, it's quite a complicated patch. Obviously, if you can't follow along, it's too hard, then check out that pack. Next, we have the drums. Great, so first we have the kick. This is on every beat. Then on top, we have this clap. It's on every second beat. Then layer that with another clap. Then an open hat. This on the off beat. So the kick would be here. And then just get it off on the off beat. Layered that. A little bit harsh. Then we've got a shaker. Just chugging through, and the velocities at the bottom you can see here. They're basically in sets of 4 that are all different, and then I've duplicated them along like this. And then another shaker, just in the right ear. So we've got 1 pan left and 1 pan right. It's gonna give you that sort of groove. I should have probably added a groove, so if you come into groove, go for a swing, maybe 55, it's always good. And then slap that on everything else. So basically put that on all the drums apart from the kick. And then it's gonna give you a little bit more swing. These are a little bit stiff right now. A little bit too much, so go to the global, bring it down. Sounds about right. You want it so you can't really notice it, but it's there. I then go through and add this to the bass as well. Great, Great guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned something new, and I will see you next week for another video. Cheers.